You are dead. You have exhaled your last breath. All sounds have faded. Your eyes are closed. Forever. You are dead. So now what? Heaven? Hell? Or nothingness? But what if you are to be reborn? Perhaps you will be rich and famous, powerful and influential. Or maybe, you will suffer from famine and poverty. But who says you will even be reborn as a human? Some believe every person experiences reincarnation after death. And in Buddhism, there are 6 paths of reincarnation, each leading an individual to be reborn in one of 6 different realms. Reincarnation is the infinite and ceaseless repetition of birth, being, and death. It is the quote-unquote accumulated entity that experiences this process. This is not the soul nor the individual self of a specific lifetime that is reborn, but the transfer of a consciousness that has experienced innumerable lives. Some believe rebirth, or samsara, takes place immediately after death. Others believe an entity lingers for 49 days in an intermediate state between death and the new life, while many believe the process could take years. In the end, all beings undergo samsara, and they will be reborn into one of the 6 realms of rebirth. So what contributes to the reincarnation into these realms? To put it simply, karma. According to Buddhism, the cycle of reincarnation is caused by karma, which is driven by our desire and misconception of the true reality. It reflects our intention, the subsequent actions, and the final effects of these actions. It represents the consequences of the realization of our physical, verbal, and mental choices. Because karma can be accumulated across multiple lifetimes, the probability of being reborn into a higher realm increases, the more virtuous one be. On the contrary, the more evil one commits, the more likely a person will be reborn into less desirable realms. So what are these 6 realms? Where are they located? Who lives in each? And how did the entities get there? Each realm is a unique world. Some are located beyond our dimension, while the others share our spatial plane but remain invisible to most of us. Together with our world, they combine to form a multiverse. The 6 realms are generally divided into 2 groups, the higher and the lower. Each group contains 3 realms. The higher group includes the realm of gods, the realm of humans, and the realm of demigods. The beings residing here are generally considered compassionate and virtuous. The lower group includes the realm of animals, the realm of hungry ghosts, and the realm of hell. The entities living here are considered apathetic and immoral. The highest realm, the realm of gods, is inhabited by the beings named Devas. Those living here experience the most delight out of all the realms. They have access to every form of pleasure imaginable and need not work. They are blessed with longevity, with lives lasting for thousands to billions of years. They are gifted with superhuman powers such as shape-shifting, flight, and the ability close to instantaneous movement. They have no need to eat or drink, but if they choose to do so, it is purely for pleasure. Their appearances are different from humans. Some still retain the humanoid form, but they are much larger physically, similar to giants. They continue to experience all human emotions such as love, fear, and anger. But their lives are much more joyous compared to ours. Other Devas physical forms are not human-like. They are sexless and non-sentimental. Their feelings of love, hate, anger, and other emotions are replaced by compassion. Some Devas have foregone their physicality. They became formless and have transcended beyond any physical space. Although the Devas are conscious of the events on earth, they usually do not interfere. Their powers are utilized only within the realm of gods. But if they do choose to respond to the human realm, they normally do so passively that appear vague and serendipitous. such as subtle guidance or luck. Despite the gods being blessed with longevity, great power, and unlimited pleasure, like us, their lives are finite. They are not exempt from the ceaseless cycle of life and death. Once their lives have reached the end, they will face the process of samsara. The gods will be reborn according to how they conducted themselves during their time in the heavens. While it is possible to be reborn as a god again, it is not guaranteed. Any god can be reborn into any one of the 6 realms and experience all the joy, pain, and suffering each brings. The second most desirable realm is the realm of humans. This is due to our capacity and freedom to control and choose our thoughts and actions. We are constantly offered the choice to be good or evil, to be happy or to suffer. Humans are blessed with the best opportunity to learn and achieve enlightenment because of the lessons we obtain from the joy, pain, and suffering in our lives. Being reincarnated into the realm of humans is considered precious and extremely rare. It is tremendously difficult for the beings in the lower realms to be reborn as humans. That is because they are believed to lack the conscientious mind to choose good over evil, while others are not even offered the opportunity. Although difficult, human beings can reincarnate into the higher realm. Therefore it is also possible for us to descend into the lower group. However, once beings have been reincarnated into the realm of humans, they will continue to have rebirths as humans as long as they consistently choose to be good rather than evil and live virtuous and ethical lives. The third path leads to the realm of demigods. It is located at the lowest part of the heavens, beneath the devas. Life in this realm is perceived as enjoyable, more so than ours. The demigods, or the asuras, possess supernatural abilities like the devas, though less powerful. Their appearance is unlike the gods or humans. Although they have retained the humanoid form, the asuras are believed to have 3 heads and 3 faces along with 4 or 6 arms. So why is the realm of demigods considered less desirable than the humans given their environment and powers? That's because they are servants to their emotions. Their passions dictate their beings to the point of obsession and addiction. They find power in jealousy, anger, pride, and feelings similar to the 7 deadly sins of Christianity. It is their passions that created the war between them and the devas. The asuras once lived in the highest realm, but they were tricked and banished by the gods to a lower realm when they took too much pleasure in drinking. When the asuras became sober and realized their predicament, they began an endless war against the gods driven by their anger. The realm of demigods is less preferable because they are prisoners of their own compulsion, despite their powers over the humans. The first of the lower group is the realm of animals. Here, beings are reincarnated as animals and they live their lives as such. Although their bodies occupy the same spatial plane as the humans, their consciousness do not. According to Buddhism, animals are led only by their primitive senses such as urges, instincts, and emotions. They merely act and react on their needs and impulses without having rational understanding of the meanings behind their actions. They lack self-awareness and the ability to understand complex concepts. They face never-ending threats from their own physical needs, other animals, and the environment. For those that live with humans, the majority are farmed as food, and slaughtered when the need arises. Or they are forced into hard labor until their bodies can no longer work. The realm of animals is deemed a place of suffering, because its inhabitants lack self-awareness and face constant agony from their environment. The second lowest realm is the realm of hungry ghosts. It is filled with beings that are tormented endlessly by starvation, thirst, and disturbing hallucinations. They share the same spatial plane as humans, wandering in wastelands and deserts, while remaining invisible to our eyes. Their appearance is similar to ours. But each is covered with dried, mummified skin, enormous stomach, and very slender limbs. These are entities who spent their past lives being deceptive, greedy, and possessive. And so they were reborn as hungry ghosts. They will suffer non-quenchable thirst and insatiable hunger until all their dues are paid. Their craving stems from the scarcity of, or the inability to consume the food they have found. A hungry ghost, or preta, has ravenous appetite but a very small mouth. Swallowing food is always extremely difficult for the pretas who can eat. Therefore the rate at which they can consume them will never match the demand of their stomach. And for those who cannot eat, whatever food they find will burst into flames when they try to eat them. Or the food will perish and fade as they make their approach. The pretas are also plagued by hallucinations. Their vision of the world is bizarre and frightening. Although they share the same space with us, when we see a beautiful body of water such as the sea or a river, they would see filth, feces, or pus in its place. Those who live in this realm are also forced to endure dramatic temperature anomalies. In summer, when they seek respite from the heat, moonlight becomes torching. And in winter, when they cower for warmth from the cold, sunlight becomes freezing. Their pain and suffering is unrelenting, but there is worse. At the bottom is the realm of hell, or Naraka. This is reserved for the beings who have committed many evil acts in their previous reincarnations. The inhabitants here experience the greatest and longest suffering among all the realms. It is believed a lifetime here could range from hundreds of millions to sextillions of years. And like the hungry ghosts, those who were born here will stay here only after their sins have been atoned for. There are two general Narakas in the realm of hell. The cold Naraka and the hot Naraka. Each can be subdivided into 8 levels, composing a total of 16 regions. The intensity of suffering and the length of average lifetime increase exponentially, as one traverses deeper into the lower levels. The cold Naraka is dark and frozen. Entities are reborn here, nude, and as adults, having to fight against the ceaseless cold, blizzards, and pain caused by constant exposure. The temperature of each cold Naraka drops aggressively the deeper one descends. The coldness induces blisters that never heal. These blisters would fester and later burst open with blood and pus. The inhabitants here are constantly shivering and screaming in pain because of the coldness and their wounds. As the condition of their blood and pus-covered body worsen, the skin begins to split open further and deeper by the relentless blizzard. Eventually, their outer bodies are shattered into pieces, exposing their internal organs. Contrastingly, the hot Naraka is a world immersed in heat and fire. The ground feels as if it is made of hot glowing metal. The inhabitants are constantly being attacked by others and are forced to retaliate in return. And this physical struggle towards one another never stops. When they fall unconscious because of the pain and attacks, their bodies are restored and the action begins again. As the level descends, the bodies of the entities are sliced and butchered by hot, searing knives. Gigantic rocks surrounding the area crash into each other, and crush their bodies into unrecognizable pulps. After the rocks separate, their bodies are healed and the process repeats. The fights between the entities intensify as one dives deeper into the hot Naraka. Their bodies are skewered by flaming spears and tridents. At the bottom level of hell, some believe the inhabitants experience uninterrupted burning and roasting for 3,397,386,240,000,000,000 years. So is it possible to stop the cycle of rebirth? Yes. And liberation is achieved by reaching moksha or nirvana. A person must be freed from the 3 poisons, hatred, greed, and ignorance, along with understanding of the true nature of reality. Upon reaching these goals, a person will separate his or her being from the effects of karma and reach moksha. From that point on, the cycle of rebirth ceases, unless the being chooses to reincarnate. Generally speaking, there are 3 practices that lead individuals towards achieving moksha. First is giving. It means being generous in both the non-materialistic and the materialistic. The non-materialistic means mentorships to anyone in need of guidance, particularly in spirituality. The materialistic is giving in the form of money, gifts, food, clothing, medicine, and etc. Second is virtue. It is the practice of ethical behavior in two ways. Implementation. Thoughts and actions a person chooses to do. And avoidance. Thoughts and actions a person refuses to do. Third is meditation. It is the cultivation of spirituality through the development of consciousness, body, benevolence, wisdom, concentration, tranquility, and insight. So which of the 6 realms do you think you are heading towards? The realm of the gods? The demigods? The animals? Or worse? Thank you for joining us. This is Dorian. Take care.